Let's do this. Amazing, guys. Got my coffee. It's been a really good week. Weather's been great here in Devon, UK. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for these calls. These calls are really they're really for me, if I'm being honest. For like it's just this is these calls are, because the teacher learns the most. Have you heard that before? And we teach best what we need to learn most as well. So, because whatever subjects that I'm talking about, the reason why I'm attracted to that subject is because I need to hear it one more time. And I'm not going to share anything on today's call that probably any of you have, you've probably heard the information before, right? But on that note, I do want to talk about how obviously we're conditioned. I'm always going to talk about how we're conditioned. But listen, I just want to just remind you all, that's what these calls are about really as well. They're like a reminder of number one, I'm on the right track. I'm with the right people. I'm not crazy like everyone, like the world makes me feel like I am. I'm not on my own. There are other people out there that have common sense and work towards their goals, right? And you're on this, you're on the same page. How crazy is it? Your thinking has put you on this call. You've attracted this call. That's how it works. Like attracts like. You become a magnet, right? So it's really cool. So you're very rare. Okay, you're a very rare human being. Okay, you want to write that down. I'm a very rare. I am rare. Okay, because you need to understand that. Um, everyone has the potential, but not everyone has the commitment. You have the commitment, okay, that makes you a rare individual. So you want to you want to be walking around not like you're better than everyone else, but like you're better than everyone else. No, okay, not from an arrogant standpoint, but from a confident standpoint, because you're a superhuman. Okay, you've decided, listen, I'm gonna actually live up to my potential. I'm gonna do my very best to bring out the best in me. Okay, so you are rare. So whenever you find a group of people who genuinely want you to win, keyword genuinely, whenever you find a group of people that genuinely want you to win, you want to lock onto them and never let them go. Okay. Here's a good sign. How do you know if the people genuinely want you to win? Okay. In most cases, the leader or the leaders of the group, they are growers. They're not managers. Does that make sense? They don't jump on calls and say, "Hey, listen, guys, here's what you should do. Here's what you should do. Here's what you should do." The leaders, they're doing it every day. They're out there doing it. They don't even care if anyone follows them. Insecure leaders, they want followers. Leaders want to help people. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that the leaders of the organization, of the group that you're in, they are going in a forward direction and they're actually walking. They're not just talking. All right, so listen, yesterday I was actually driving my car and I was when you have one of those moments where because sometimes I listen to like who listens to like like meditation music sometimes, just to relax. Yeah. And sometimes I forget that was like the last thing I was listening to on YouTube and I get in my car and it's like playing through the speakers really loud, like like really, you know what I mean? And I was driving and the sun was out and I was driving, I had this music on and I just thought, it sounds quite nice. I'm gonna leave it on. And I'm driving, I just like started to really think about like what has changed in my life because 7 years ago I was an absolute mess. I'm talking like I was so lost. I was completely lost, man. I felt like there was something wrong with me. I felt like the world would be a better place without me. I was always struggling. I'd never fill my car up because I couldn't afford to. So I'd always, just put £5 in here, £10 in here, £15 in here. I could never fill the car up. Um, I had to go to the cheapest supermarket ever because that's all I can afford. It seemed like every bit of money that came in was just going out. Um, I couldn't even talk to like two or more people without being insecure and feeling like I'm being judged. I was actually like different people around different people. So I was a different person in front of this person. Then I'll get around this crowd and I have to like pretend to be a different person there. And I felt like the world was sort of molding me into, and I didn't have any control. I was sort of being molded into just into someone that I wasn't, right? And it was just I used to drink a lot, smoke a lot to obviously escape reality. I used to waste time. And then what really changed for me, guys, is I found Think and Grow Rich, the book. Well, in fact, I actually found Rich Dad Poor Dad. This how it started for me. I found the book. So I was working in a factory, and the book was on the table in the canteen. And I'm like, who's this Chinese looking man talking about money? Rich Dad Poor Dad. What's that about? Right. So I just left it. Obviously, it's not my book. I just left it. I just saw it, left it. Anyway, next day, because I was working nights, we used to do work 4 nights: Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and we have Friday night off. The next night, I went up there, and it was still up there, but on a different table. I was like, "There's that book again." And like I'd walk past and just have a quick look. I'd read the back. Yeah, that sounds interesting, man. Anyway, carry on with my day. Next day, it was there again, and I thought, okay, no one's reading this book. And the thing is, here's the weird thing. There was a morning shift and an afternoon shift that came after me. So even they just left it there as well. So on the last night, I picked it up and I thought, you know, I'm taking this. And I read this book. I read this book. And after that, what happened is this. I started to think about money. I started to think about money. And here's the crazy thing. I don't think I was ever thinking about money or how to generate more money before that. I was just in a place of like sick and tired of being sick and tired, ready for change. And then God put that book into my life, universe put that book into my life. Then I was like, okay, I read this book, started to think about money. Then I found The Strangest Secret. Literally, it came on my audio. Then that led me down a rabbit hole. Earl Nightingale, Bob Proctor, and I started to listen to Bob Proctor material like a maniac. He's got an audio book called "You Were Born Rich." You Were Born Rich, and I'm telling you right now, guys, I listened to that every single day on repeat. And when it ended, I'd put it back to the beginning. Born rich, holding on to the key. Born rich, ready to unlock your destiny. Right? Over and over and over and over and over again. Everyone thought I was crazy. I thought I was crazy, but at the same time, I don't know why, but this information was just like resonating with me, man. Really resonating with me. Then I watch all these videos over and over and over and over and over. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. I started to smoke a little bit more weed because no one was around me. No one was around me, so I was just on my own. So I started to smoke more. Just being honest, man. And I go down a rabbit hole of personal development, and obviously, weed's not good for you, right? Um, but but like I say, I was still in between. Actually, last night, me and my wife we watched In Between Us, the movie. Hilarious, man. So I found like I was like an in-betweener between this new information, this new life that I'm learning about, and my old life where I was conditioned, and my parents and my friends, and so I felt like an in-betweener. I couldn't speak to anyone about it because they were looking at me like I'm a crazy man, right? No one. I tried giving people books. I sat my mom down. That video that you've all just watched, I've sat my mom down in front of the screen. She's watched that video. Then I put another one on called Decision. She watched that video and then she looked at me. She's like, "Yeah, man, great." And I'm like, "What? Like, how can two people see the same information and have a different response?" That question in itself led me down a rabbit hole. How can two people jump on a presentation, see an opportunity to create wealth? One says it's a scam. One's like, "I'm all in. Thank you, God." That there blows my mind. But it's the same as £10,000 a month to one person is struggling, not a lot of money. £10,000 a month to another person, the exact same amount of money is like, I've made it. Crazy. So it's not the thing, is it? It's the it's what's looking through. See, we don't see with our eyes, we see through them. We see through them. What are we seeing with? We're seeing with our perception, right? This is what I learned. See, you can go through school. I streamed into a big event yesterday in Manchester. Shout out the Manchester crew. Manchester, Manchester. That's in between us. Um, and I said, you can go through school, college, university, and never, ever, ever will they teach you about the paradigm. They will never teach you about the mind, how the mind works. Imagine, like, we're actually taught that if you remember information, you're smart. You're not actually developing your intellect in school. You're developing your memory. You're grading on how good your memory is. See, life works in reverse. Life, you take the test, then you study. In school, you study, then take the test. See, you're never taught how to think, right? So what happens is this: you go through life thinking because you've been brainwashed. You're under this crazy illusion that you're smart, but your results are down here. You're struggling with, you can't even talk. First of all, you struggle to shake a hand. You struggle to make eye contact, hold a conversation for longer than 10 minutes and be interesting, right? The only reason why people listen to you is because of your position that you got through a university degree. And if you was outside of work, no one would even listen to you. Everyone laughing at your jokes. They're not really laughing. Who used to laugh at, who used to pretend to laugh at work? Just to be liked by the manager. It's not even funny, is it? Why are we laughing? Because we have to. You see, because we have to bend to make sure we don't get fired. So we're not taught how to think, we're not taught how to speak, we're not taught how to communicate, we're not taught how to make money. We're taught how to memorize. So we've got all this amazing knowledge and we've got terrible results. We struggle to hold down relationships, most people. Most people are terrible when it comes to health and fitness, very, very unhealthy, out of shape, most people. Most people don't have any money. They don't. Um, and they certainly not getting much fulfillment about what it is that they're doing. Okay, but their IQ. Oh wow, amazing! They've got more degrees than a thermometer. Crazy, super smart. And then you got people like me who got zero grades. This is why I got a lot of hate from the smart kids when I first got into when I first started making money. Because I got zero, and this is what I'm thinking. Yesterday, as I was driving, I was thinking, what the fuck happened to me? Like, what changed? Because I got no grades in school, zero. Like, you could spell fudge with the grades that I got in school. I didn't even know you could get U's, right? And I found Think and Grow Rich, and I started to listen to it. I started to listen to it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and everything started to change. I'm going to share with you a few things on today's call that they don't teach in school. So here's what the paradigm controls if you're taking notes. The first thing is it controls your perception. Your perception is how you see the world. Okay, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Okay, your perception is how, is it big or is it small? Is it fast or is it slow? Is it easy or is it hard? Is that a big goal or a small goal? Is that a lot of money or a little bit of money? Right? Your perception, how you see things, that's what your paradigm controls. The next thing your paradigm controls is your use of time. Your use of time. There's a lot of smart people that waste time because their paradigm's in control of their time. How you use your time. Next one, creativity. Your paradigm actually controls your creativity. Some people they just can't, they're just not creative. Super smart again, all the knowledge, but the paradigm blocks them when it comes to being creative. Okay, they see a problem, they're like, "Do you know what? That's a problem." They see an obstacle, they're like, that's a brick wall, that is. There's no way around it. People with creativity say that's a door, that's a tiny little hurdle. How do we get over it? How do we get around it? Right? Can we be grateful for it, which will allow the answers to come through to allow us to go above and over the problem? Most people that they're not grateful. Being grateful for a problem is the last thing that people think about. When in fact, gratitude is the key. So imagine you can't get through a door, and you know where's the key? The key is gratitude. Oh man, I'm so grateful for this door. Why are you grateful for the door? Maybe it's slowing you down for a reason. Maybe you got a flat tire because if you didn't, 10 miles down the road, you would have been in an accident which would have killed you. Hmm. So maybe you have to start trusting God that puts doors in your life, takes things out of your life for you. And that perception, that use of your thinking alone unlocks the next level. Unlocks it because God goes, wow, that person's understanding. That person trusts the process. Here's the answer, bang. Here's the person that's going to change your life, bang. Here's the event circumstance that's going to change your life, bang. Which you never would have had access to unless you would have been grateful. Next, your paradigm controls your effectiveness, your ability to be effective. Your effectiveness, you can't be effective unless you're productive. That's the next thing your paradigm controls, your productivity. See, effectiveness comes after productivity, really. There's no way you can even get to being effective unless you're productive. You've got to use your time right first before you can multiply it. Next one, logic. It controls your logic. That just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm adding it up. This to this to this to this this. It's just not making. It's not logical. Like, imagine if the Wright brothers who designed the plane thought logical. Imagine if Steve Jobs thought logical, right? Einstein. I mean, bro, you failed 5,000 times, man. It's not working. Yeah, no, I just want to fail. I want to fail because guess what? On the 10,000th time, we're gonna do it, right? So imagine if he was logical. Crazy. And the last thing your paradigm controls, guys, is your ability to earn money. Your ability to earn money. Okay. So obviously, as you will know, there's two ways you can change your paradigm, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But I'm gonna break it down in like a three-step thing because you see, my first mentor was Bob Proctor, and then I manifested eventually working with someone called Holton Bugs, and he had a three-step process of change, and it made sense. So the three-step process of change is this. And guys, this information I'm giving you right now, this is just good information. That's what it is. It's good information for your mind. Let it sink in. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to like understand it all right now. Let it sink in. Remember, repetition is the key. I'm going to give you all. Is everyone in the Telegram channel? I'll put that audio in there. The science of getting rich. That's something good to listen to. On repeat. That information primes your mind for the right things. Okay, so here we go. The three-step process to change. The first one is awareness. Awareness. So, awareness of what? Awareness that you can change. What did I say? I said that I found Rich Dad Poor Dad and I started to think about money. Before that, I never even thought, hey, listen, maybe I can change my situation. I didn't know. I never thought about it. Most people never really think about it, guys. That they never really think, I can change my situation. If you go and speak to someone a waiter or whatever, they just don't think they can change their situation. They're just like, this is my situation. They don't know that you could actually, no matter what your past is, no matter what your situation is, if you today just started to do what works and you started to scientifically reprogram your mind and take the right actions, you can change your situation. Most people don't know that. There's a science to getting rich, an exact science. Awareness. So here's where I am. This is who I am, and these are my results. Okay, so awareness. Here's where I am. This is who I am, and these are my results. Right? These are my results. Awareness. Wow, I can change. That's crazy. I remember when I first met Bob Proctor. I was in Toronto, Canada. I'd never been out. I'd never been on a plane on my own before. Right? So I'm on a plane on my own for like 7 hours. Bearing in mind, no one thought I should have been on that plane. My mom was literally in my back garden with her both hands around me, begging me not to go. She thought that Bob Proctor had scammed me out of 20 grand, begging me not to go. So I'm confused too, because don't forget, my mom grabbing me. My mom is a representation of my paradigm. She's a physical manifestation of my conditioned mind telling me, don't go. So the internal of me was on the same page as my mom. I actually agreed with my mom consciously. But because I'd listened to the information so much and I started to have a goal, right? That's why I got so many goal cards. I started to have a goal. I started to carry these things around with me all day, every day. These goal cards. My subconscious mind had accepted the fact that I could change. I was aware. I was aware. You see, my mom wasn't aware. My awareness had reached a point where I can change. I can change my situation. I don't like my situation. It's my situation. It's not my mom's, it's mine. It's your situation. You don't have to justify to anyone as to why you want to change your situation. It's your situation to change, not theirs. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If there's things you want to change, there's things you want to change. If there's things you want to level up, there's things you want to level up. So I got to Toronto. I couldn't stay in the hotel where the event was because it was super out my budget. I mean, my budget was just so yeah. And anyway, I got to the hotel and I saw Bob Proctor, man, and I never forget when I saw Bob Proctor, man. That changed my life. He was just over there having a conversation, and I was like, there he is, man. Oh my gosh, like there he is. He has no idea. He has no idea how much he changed my life. He has no clue who I am. He doesn't care. He's just like doing his thing, doing just another seminar. I was like, he's been doing these seminars for like 50 years, 50, 60 years. I'm just another person that's come here. And he's just doing his thing, man. Mad. And I went up to him, I shook his hand, I said, thank you so much for your consistency and persistence. And he was like, no worries. Crazy. And I went for a toilet break because Sandy Gallagher did a thing. I went for a toilet break, and on the way back to the room, Bob Proctor was stood by the bar. So I went over to him again, and he gave me a copy of Science to Getting Rich because Bob Proctor's got his own version of it. He had a big pile of them, and he gave me a copy. He gave me a copy one. He said, "Jake, read chapters 4, 14, and 7 for 90 days." I was like, Okay. Imagine if I stood there and was like, why though? No. I said, okay. Chapters 4, 14, and 7 in that order for 90 days. I was like, okay. Crazy. Here's step two, acceptance. This is a big part. Acceptance. So whether I like it or not, it is my fault for everything. You see, a lot of people, and I think this is a stage that everyone has to go through. You go through a bit of a resentment stage. You go through a stage of like, mom, dad, like, wh why didn't you tell me about this? Why didn't you? How have you not found this information? And then now I'm telling you about it. Why aren't you listening? Like I've said this before, like I never forget my mom came round to stay, and I've shared this story before. My mom came round to stay quite recently, and my mom obviously knows me, right? She knows who we used to be, right? Got two Range Rovers on the drive. We get beautiful, beautiful. We literally live 5 minutes from the best beach I believe in the UK. One of them, in my opinion, the best. I showed her what I earn during the night, and it's how much. And she earns that in a month. She was like, "No way." See, I have to really work on my acceptance because in my mind, I'm like, why didn't in that moment, mom, you call an emergency meeting for the entire family? Hey guys, like, wow, like, Jake, what do you know? Does that make sense? Like, that blows my mind. So you have to work on your acceptance level because otherwise you are going to be resenting the people around you for a long time. And you have to accept that it's not your fault for the cards that you got dealt, but it's your fault for what now you do with them because you can't do anything until you're aware. So that's why awareness is first. You can't solve a problem until you're aware of the problem. Once you become aware of the problem, now you need to say, okay, cool. Do you know what? I can either sit here now and like beat myself up forever about the past, or I can say, do you know what? Thank you, God, for the awareness. Thank you for me finding out. Wow, now let's change it, right? And guess what, guys? Here's some bad news, but some truth. The older you are, the harder it is to change. That's some reality for you right there. Why? Because young people, they don't have to change their mind, they have to make up their mind. Old people, we have to change our mind. Now, does that mean you just stop and give up all hope? No, no. It means, you know what? Start today. Start today because guess what? In 5 years' time, 10 years' time, you're going to be 5 years older or 10 years older anyway. Right? So why not make use of that time? Why not condition your mind? Why not just improve your life a little bit? Why not? Do you know what most people do? Oh, well, I mean, it's past it for me. That's so selfish, what you just said. Oh, I'm too old now. Who's heard people say that? Oh, I'm too old now for that stuff. That is so selfish. What about your kids? If you haven't got any kids, what about any child that sees you? How about that one? Do you leave the house? Yeah. Are there children in your town? Yeah. Will they see you? Potentially. Well, guess what? If you're average, you're gonna blend in. They ain't gonna notice you. But if you're a winner, they're gonna be like, "Mom, Daddy, who's that? Who's that?" And they're gonna be like I was with Bob Proctor, because you see, I couldn't look up to my mum and dad. I love them to pieces, guys. Like if people don't get it twisted, guys. I love them so much. Like I'm a great son. I got a lot of love. I love them. But if I didn't know them, I wouldn't see them. Make sense? Why? They're just normal people. Bob Proctor. Wow. Guys, I'm not sure who's met Bob Proctor. I see Danny on the line. I know Danny's met Bob Proctor. He's like, he stood out. His energy is just, it was like, who is he? Even if you didn't know him, I see David as well, yeah. Even if you didn't know him, you'd be like, wow, like that got, why is he like glowing? Mad. So what I'm trying to say is this, guys. Anyone on this call, anyone right now watching this back on the replay, or watching it, listening back on the podcast, whatever it is, anyone within a space of 5 years of actual, intentional, daily reconditioning, which is step 3, you can see a change. My goal, I don't even care about if I hit my goal. Like a lot of people, I say like I'm very result focused and all that good stuff, guys. I set goals because that's what goals make us happy. Okay, that's what a goal is. A goal is like our North Star. We're going to grow towards it. And I'm going to do my very best to hit it. Cool. You know what's more important to me? Passing down new information to my son. That's way more important to me. Passion. Hey guy, like, hey son, look, I know I didn't get there, but I made some progress on the bloodline. Can you make more progress on the bloodline? That's my role. It's not about me being a millionaire. Like this, like, do you get what I'm saying, guys? Like a lot of people that say, like, oh, if I don't make it, I'm a failure. What are you talking about? No, not trying makes you a failure. Not tr not trying makes you a failure. So the third step is reconditioning. First of all, is everyone enjoying the call? Yeah. So I get whenever I talk about family, I get so like evangelical. I'm about to cry. Same here. Reconditioning. Okay, here's the reconditioning process. New information combined with new actions. New information combined with new actions. The only way, guys, to change your paradigm is repetition of information and emotional impact. Emotional impact. Now, the emotional impact doesn't have to be a crazy life-altering moment like your parents divorcing, you getting run over, someone dying, you losing your job, whatever. It hasn't got to be a big dramatic moment. An emotional impact, because you see, no one told me this. I don't even think Bob Proctor told me this. I may have misheard it, but emotional impacts are just basically actions outside your comfort zone. That's all. That's all an emotional impact is. That's what it is. Like placing your first trade on a live account is an emotional impact. It is. It's new. It's like completely out your comfort zone. You're like, it's a new thing. Going live on your Facebook for the first time, emotional impact. Going live on your Facebook for the thousandth time, but you didn't want to do it that time, is an emotional impact. You know what I'm saying? Go in the gym when you don't want to go is an emotional impact. See, go in the gym when you want to go. That's cool, man. Invest in money that you have. That's cool. Invest in money you don't have. That's emotional impact. Starting new conversations with people that you've never met, if you're not used to that sort of thing, is an emotional impact. Asking people for their card information is an emotional impact if you've never done it before. The first time I said, let's get you started, I said, let's get you farted. Let's get you sharted. Excuse me? Right? Didn't come out right. I was like, I was like, wait, Jake, what are you doing? Because I don't know what it is, guys. It was so happy to get other people paid, but when it comes to us, we just turn into weirdos. Like people join this business, it's so funny. How do I talk to people? What? How do you, how old are you? You've been talking since you were three, you know, right? How did you even make it to this point? How do you talk to people? What are you talking about? This business is hard. I'm like, hang on a minute, what'd you do? I'm a bricklayer. No, that's hard, bro. Laying bricks is hard. Talking, flapping your lips, flapping your lips to other people. What are you talking about? That's pretty easy. I used to be a firefighter, and like I used to be a firefighter, guys. That's hard work. Trust me, very hard work. Fucking hell. Talking to people on social media. Oh my gosh. Talking into a camera. Yo, guys, what's going on, man? Hope you're all good. Listen, the tip of the day is be grateful. All right. You can't be angry and grateful at the same time. Hope that helps, guys. Happy Sunday. Guys, just change someone's life. That's easy peasy. Okay, but you know what? It's out the comfort zone, isn't it? So you can do hard work inside your comfort zone. Some of you right now have got jobs that's actually hard work, but you're comfortable doing it and it's not getting you results. So you're working hard at doing something that's not getting you results, but you're comfortable doing it. And you join a business like this and you have easy work to do, but because it's uncomfortable, you're not doing it. But it's going to give you 100x the results. But here's the key to change: the more you do it, the more comfortable it gets. And now you get to a point where you're like, oh, this is easy and comfortable and it's crazy results. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? So whenever you see anyone who's done a six-figure income in this industry, trust me, they've got to the point where it's easy and comfortable and it's amazing results. You just have to go through that uncomfortable phase. That's all it is. But you're never going to do that unless you understand the process of change. So here's a few questions that I want you to ask yourself. How was your last 7 days? Okay, Sunday is a really good day to do this because obviously tomorrow is the start of the new week. So the last thing you want to do is go into the new week without any sort of thinking done. Like Jim Rohn says that the best time to start a week is when it's finished. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're looking back at the last week and saying, how was my last 7 days? You know, did I train in the gym consistently? Okay, how was my sessions? What did I have good energy? Was I being lackadaisy? Was it good, right? How was my eating? Was I eating clean? Did I make good choices? Did I get all my meals in? Okay. How was my business? Did I talk to people every day? Did I ask everyone to get started? Did I do any presentations? Did I do any? What was my social media game like? Did I post on TikTok every day? Did I post on Instagram every day? Did I post on Facebook? Did I go live? What, how was your last 7 days? It's not good or bad. Forget the result. In that question, it's just how was your last 7 days? What did you do? Right. Next one. What did I do well? What did I do well over the last 7 days? What did I actually do well? What can I be proud of myself for the last 7 days? Yeah, what did I do well? Next one, what could I have done better? What could I have done better over the last 7 days? Okay. A lot of people don't want to go there because they hate the mirror. They do, they hate the mirror. They do not like owning up to their own mistakes. But leaders do this. Thinkers, we do this. Thinking's the hardest thing anyone can do. Where could I have gone better? Next one. What accountability? Here's the magic. What accountability can I put in place for this next 7 days? See, accountability is the glue between you and your goals. Without accountability, guys, like you have to be a very special human being. I don't think anyone's ever actually achieved anything without any accountability. Accountability is basically you can measure it. You can measure it, and you're also like in communication with like someone that you respect. You've got deadlines. Does that make sense? You've got something attached to the goal. It's not just like, hey man, yeah, I want to get rich. Okay, when? What's your plan? Who you working with? Do you get what I'm saying, guys? Like accountability is everything. So like a good way to remain accountable is this: number one, solid routine, solid morning routine. Remember, guys, you ain't got to take everything that I'm saying. Just take some of it. Okay, solid morning routine. Hydrate, stretch, write your gratitude. If you go to, if, For those that have got Think and Grow Rich, if you go to the chapter on faith, you'll see something called the self-confidence formula. I read that every day for 5 years. I did. It's on my wall here. You can read that every morning. Visualize, get yourself some fresh air, exercise. Right. Your gratitude, as part of your gratitude, you want to be thinking about your goal. You want to be writing out your goal and thinking about it. Okay. Number two, study and listen to a specific audio on repeat. That's why I put that Science of Getting Rich in there because it's just a good example. You could listen to that on repeat. The Science of Getting Rich. You want to be priming your mind to just be only thinking. What I'm trying to do here, guys, is I'm trying to make sure that your mind is just full of the right information. You've got no room for doubts, no room for boredom. The only reason why you ever eat shit, procrastinate, do negative, anything negative that you regret or that gives you shame and guilt is because you're bored. It's the only reason. So when you don't allow yourself to drop into boredom because you're filling your mind with where you go and you're filling your mind with all this amazing information, inspiring information, and you've got a plan, you've got some accountability, that is the best way. That is the best way to stay high frequency and to keep rocking and rolling. A few audios to listen to that you could listen to. Your Wish is Your Command by Kevin Trudeau. You Were Born Rich by Proctor. You Too Can Be Prosperous by Robert A. Russell. And The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. But this last point is probably the most important one. Ready? Having a weekly check-in with whoever you're working with, your coach, your mentor, your business partner, whatever. Having a weekly check-in, whether it's a 5 minute conversation. Yeah, so number one is solid morning routine. Number two is listen to an audio. Fill your mind with the right stuff. Your wish is your command. You were born rich. You too can be prosperous. The Science of Getting Rich. And number three is have a weekly check-in with your coach. Book it in. Don't wait for your coach to reach out to you. Like I had a guy come round. Some of you know this. I had a guy come round, and he was just helping out. We had new windows fitted. He turned up. He looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? His arms were like legs. He had veins bigger than my wrist, right? Veins. I'm like, who is this guy, man? This guy's like, I was like, brother, good to meet you. How long have you been training? Like 20 plus years? Yeah, 20 plus years. Turns out he shared the stage with like Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman. He's like a Mr. Olympia, got a professional bodybuilder, got his own gym. And I was like, what's your number, man? Like, like, can you show me? Because guys, I've always like aspired to be like, big and muscular like these guys. I don't know what it is. It's just something I've always wanted to do. And he was like, yeah, man. So I went to the gym. Funny story, actually. I went to the gym and I showed up and he was like, what you training? I said, I'm going to train upper body. And he was like, right, we're doing legs. I was like, no, no. I said upper body. He was like, yeah, we're doing legs. I was like, wow. You know what that was? Emotional impact. And let me tell you what today, physical impact. Okay, I'm struggling to walk. And my wife had to help me sit down in this chair. I couldn't even take my son upstairs this morning to get him changed. I can't make it up. I'm not joking. Like it's actually like borderline injury. It's like beyond aching. I almost blocked him this morning. I'm not joking. All right, but guess what? He's now my coach. He's now my coach. Okay, I'm paying him monthly. He's making the decisions for me. We've got a weekly check-in. I can't wait to go. I've asked for this morning. I text him saying, brother, can I come to the gym? I can pay you extra, and you can actually train with me. Like, watch me train. I want to know exactly if I'm training because you know why? I value my time. If I'm going to be away from my family, I want to make sure that every second of effort is going to have the most output. So if you're going to build your business, if you're going to spend time away from your loved ones, make sure you're doing the right activities. Make sure you're on the right plan. It breaks my heart when I see people show up to the gym and they look worse after 2 years. I'm like, how is that even possible? How are you training consistently but getting going backwards? Like I don't get it. Like you like can we just do you at least love your family a little bit? Yeah. Can we get a coach? Can we start? Right? Don't waste time, man. So like he's like, yeah, man, like you get it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, of course, it's common sense, right? I wanna maximize this 100%. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay, so get a coach, keep the coach updated. I've conversation with some people. I'm like, yeah, man, you good? Yeah, amazing. I don't hear from for like 3 months. I'm like, how are you, man? Like, how's the plan? You know what I mean? What's going on, man? Was my here's what I'm really asking. Was my time with you worth it? That's really what I'm asking. Was my time that I gave you, is it gonna was it worth it? Because the best thing you can do for a coach is apply what they say. Because if you don't apply what the coach says, now you're wasting the coach's time. And the coach is in the position that they're in because of how much they value their time, right? So also last one, always come with possible solutions. So I'm gonna give you some leadership stuff now. I don't know how this calls turned into this, but always come with possible solutions. So don't come with, hey man, this, terrible, 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 terrible. Come with like terrible, terrible, terrible. But I was thinking about doing this and this and this. What do you think? Because the coach also likes the fact that you've gone ahead and actually done a little bit of thinking yourself. That shows the coach, hey, this is someone I can pour my time into because they have initiative. They're self-starters. They're normal people. Okay? They're on the right, they're on the right side of life. They see things as the glass is half full. Next, don't talk about things that you don't need to talk about. I spoke to someone the other day, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna say his name. He doesn't mind though." But I said, "Hey, bro, like, how's your business?" He said, "Yeah, I've been working long hours, been doing this, been doing this, been doing this. But yeah, this person's doing this, person's doing this person's doing this." I said, "Why did you include that first part?" I know why you included it. It's because you wanted to justify something, even though, and I get it, it's out of respect. But when my mentor says to me, Jake, how's business? I'll say, you know, first of all, everything's going great and we're getting better. Here's who I'm working. I'm not gonna say, listen, yeah, man. I mean, I changed my son's nappy this morning. Terrible. It really stunk. And then like I had a pop tire in the week that was terrible. So that sort of put me back a little bit. This person quit. This person told me that it's a scam. This person blocked me on social media. But anyway, yeah, this person's just about to go gold. This person's You didn't need to say anything about that. Who's going gold, man? Like, let's focus on what we want to see more of. Makes sense. It's not that I don't care about you. It's not that. It's I don't. It's don't take it wrong. I'm just saying we will want to know more about your personal life when you show that you care about the our time. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so it's just about that. Um, that's some leadership stuff. But yeah, guys, listen, that's been the call, man. That that's been the call. Any questions? Let us know. Bonnie, you can start recording now. Thank you so much.